Kale, your timing is beyond reproach. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I'm Loxley, Setter of Strategy, the Capering Card Shark, the board game goat. Though, of course, right now it's more Setter of Sports Ball, the Rupert Capra right player, the goal-getting goat. Because I'm putting way too much thought into these arbitrary titles I'm awarding myself. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope that things are going good. We're playing Pyre, and yes, it's such a good game. I'm really enjoying it. It's a delight. Looking forward to getting a little bit further. Thus far, we have met our big wife, Jadariel. We have met our new daughter, Faye. We have met our reliable friend, whose name I have forgotten. We've met the goodest boy, Ruki. We've met Tizo, the imp, who is chat's favourite character. Hedwin, I've just remembered it. It was Hedwin. He's a reliable friend. Very nice guy. A little bit bland. And the minstrel, who also has a bit of who's endlessly cryptic. I mean, he's almost certainly like some kind of weird scribe elder creature. And we have just met Big Bertrude, who has very kindly offered to upgrade, change, reformat our large wooden son, the black wagon. 1 second. Just quickly going to jump over here. Hey, there we go. And I have noticed, so what I did not realize is there's a slight spoiler because we're at the point where we're continuing the journey. We've been told to wait overnight, so we're just going to wait for Big Bertrude. But we do actually have a slight spoiler, because if we click in the bandwagon right now, it's got a bit nautical. So where once there were like little spiders hiding up here, there's now a nautical bell, and also fish out the windows. Not sure where they're actually going from. Oh, though I have noticed we now have. Oh, that's a nice touch. Oh, I've just realised, before the Book of Rights was just kind of here on like a pedestal with the other books of rights down on the floor, whereas now they're actually neatly placed on the table. That's a really nice touch. And I guess it means like somebody we've picked up is paying a little bit more attention to maybe the fissure between two panes of glass. Oh, true. But yeah, it looks like somebody is paying a little bit more attention to the upkeep of the black wagon. So that's a really nice touch. We can become more and more familiar with things. Also, I like that everyone gets their own book. I was wondering if they just had like 3 that we're sharing between them, but it looks just like most people get their own book at the moment. But yes, we're going to continue our journey. The lone minstrel finds you early the next day. Reader, it is ready. Please, come have a look. The others are already there. Wait, I didn't get to look as well? Okay, fine. The lone minstrel beckons you to come see the wagon. Step inside. I may have been slightly spoiled for this, sorry. It's very nice. I've never seen it before. It's an amazing transformation. The black wagon appears different now than it did even a day before. The hull is fully sealed and reinforced, and all manner of nautical equipment adorns the port side. Wow. You people seeing this? I'm going to have a look around. The wagon should be fit for a sea voyage. Let us depart at your earliest convenience. What about Big Bertrude? A bog dweller, once feared and respected in the Commonwealth for her sorcerous work. She then appears, as if on cue. Tell that sandalwood he owes us twice over. If I may, Big Bertrude, you could tell him yourself if you wish to accompany us in our voyage north. Our group would welcome someone of your vast experience. Also, I'm gonna guess there's a mask that we. I'm gonna guess that there's a mask that we need somebody's face in. That's just about the right size for a snake person. Oh. Kale, you and you are kind of going right along Bertrude's line of thinking. They make flirtations upon us. Ness, hello, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Enough. But should ye see that Sandalwood, tell him also to come and visit us again. Now be gone from here, and tell no one that we were paid in favors. She slithers off without a word. Soon, the lone minstrel breaks the silence. Vic, give me sword. No? We are fortunate she assisted us. We should go. Just as she said, I know the navigational controls and shall explain. This is so exciting! I don't know how to swim! You are too enthusiastic about that. Tizo seems to share Faye's enthusiasm for heading out to sea, and possibly also her inability to swim. We just don't know. I'm beginning to feel ill already. Your black wagon became seaworthy. The sea of solace, not the sea of souls, awaits. Shuko. Nice. We're gonna just ooh. Before she left, Big Bertrude shared knowledge of a current that should draw you out to sea. Nice. Oh. Transformation! I've heard... I swear, I recognize all of the sound effects they're using. I recognize that... I'm not even sure it's from, like, another Supergiant game. I think it might be, like, just a generic sound that they have bought and used. You and your companions watch the sea as the wagons roll over the gentle waves. We have crossed into the Worm Gulf. I hope that all of you are acclimating well. Our boat wagon son is so wobbly. Exiled worms from the Sea Dominion naturally congregate around here. Yeah, that does make sense. There is no acclimating to these worm-infested waters. Known for being reckless and single-minded, they were perfectly suited to fill the Commonwealth's front lines. Or we risk everything to sail here. As long as we follow the cold current Big Bertrude indicated, we shall be safe. If the next right is in the middle of the sea, how will our adversaries meet us there? They shall find their way, as we find ours. This is all part of the scribe's design. Now, reader, please confirm the next point on our sea journey. We seek the hulk of Oars or Ores, do we think? According to the stars, the carcass of a doomed exploring vessel, Dazraban, lost in the waters of the downside. Ooh, Outer Solace. This is waters of the... Oh, hang on. Are we need to... Huh? What's the huh? Okay, I will... That's not the way I clicked, but okay. Just the Hulk of Ores... Hulk of Ores, I don't know. This is a lovely chilled out groove just to be sailing to. Oh, hello. The wagon continues rolling gently across the waves, which seems to use a welcome change of pace having come from flagging hands not long ago. However, Jadariel seems more concerned now than before, and paces ceaselessly. I am really enjoying it. Pyre is absolutely wonderful. It's completely different. Well, I don't know. It's not completely different. Like, there's definitely bits that I can see which are clearly Supergiant games. Like, stuff that I can see repeated in use from Bastion or Transistor, and also stuff that stayed into Hades. The art style is clearly Supergiant. It's not. It's a very different set of mechanics, and that is fascinating to me. Though I do like how it all works. When she notices Ruki, she stops him for some questioning. You've been thinking of playing Transistor again? I'd recommend it. It's a wonderful game. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I've enjoyed all of Supergiant games. They may well be my favorite game publisher at this point. Greentail, how's he doing? Who? Hedward? Oh, he's pretty much the same. Been up all night retching into the waters, if I had to guess. His first time out at sea? His first. She turns to you. Reader, please check on Hedwin when you have the opportunity. He requires our support, and we require his swift recovery. And we have 2 other players. We only take 3 people. You wish them a good afternoon as you go check up on the others in the group. Later, you find Hedwin looking out of sorts. Oh, unreliable friend. Hello. Oh, hello, my friends. It's just... Oh, the sea hasn't been good for me, I guess. The music is wonderful. It's funny. All this trouble just to get back to the Commonwealth of all places. Hey, tell me something. What do you miss most about that place? Everyone wants to know what you miss about your past life, your book collection. Sure, it was highly illegal, but just the same, you miss having access to all those volumes. The few friends you had, your life was almost always difficult, but several of your long-time confidants did help you get by. Perhaps the food. Your mouth waters at the thought of it, at least compared with passes for sustenance here. Nothing springs to mind. I don't know. I don't think there's enough people in the chat right now to have like a full poll. What do people want to say? I'm inclined to say either friends or food. Like we don't really know. We're kind of defining our own past life. Like, you know, the book collection suggests to me that I was not exactly taking the horrendous crime of literacy seriously. I see the spine of the world sparkle and shine. Light the inside. I see the spine of the world. I know it's mine, twisted and tied. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go with food. I don't want to, like, make my new friends feel bad because I have old friends. You confess to him that you do miss Commonwealth cuisine. Not that you often got to eat your fill of it or anything. The food. That's a surprise. I always thought that food was terrible. Yeah, but you were a soldier. I hope you're not offended. I think maybe you haven't tried real food. One day, if we luck out and find ourselves decent ingredients, I'll cook something for you. Okay? Anyway, I'll be fine, I think. Thank you for checking up on me. You sense as he wishes to be alone. There's not much left to be done for him now. He's too ill to conduct the next rite. May he soon get well. I'm sorry for my interruption, reader. Please again confirm the next point on our voyage. It's that big... The only thing we're allowed to click on this screen. I love the little jump and skip. Ooh. This is nice. By the scribes, the sea. I didn't know it was so beautiful. Having escaped the waters of Worm Gulf, you now can see what must be the Hulk of Ores, far on the horizon. Not everyone has taken well to the sea voyage, however. Uh-oh, are you sick as well? Tizo is wondering if Hedwin's feeling... Oh, that's very considerate of you. He requires further rest, Tizo. All we can do is wish him swift recovery. Reader, from this point on, our voyage must diverge from Bertrude's instructions. Please consult with your companions about which course to take. Why would they know anything? Okay, so we have the Underking Pass. The north current towards the Hulk of Ores runs as quick as the Underking Ores himself. Hey, Ness, what's up? Also, Fathomless Trench. So Faye thinks the Ape Scribes will bless us, and the south current towards the Hulk of Auras seems teems with fish, and Tizo wishes to fish for something tasty. Oh, are we going with Daughter or Delightful Imp? Would you give a little taste of your favourite line you did from AMVA? Oh, I will need to go and pull up a script, but I have no problem. I will do that shortly, but I will do that at the end of the stream, but I'm going to have to think on it, because I don't know what necessarily my favourite line is. I'm going to have to think on it. Because there are some really interesting lines. Plus, it's like ones that work, A, aren't massive spoilers, and B, work in context. Kale, would you mind throwing up a poll, please? We have Under King Pass or Fathomless Trench. Same brain cell. Also, I think possibly the line that made Lee most amused was a slight little ed. Actually, do you know what? I can tell you one line that Lee, the writer, thought was funny enough that that it was actually added to the script when I improv'd it, which is one of my first lines when I'm speaking to the slightly well-to-do partner of the main character for the first time. And she says something along the lines of, well, I've never seen you around here before. To which my reply was, well, the world is full of small mercies. So I think that is in the first time I meet, and it was very much just me being silly in the last take. How are we doing with that poll, Kale? Not that I'm not enjoying the vibes. You fervently avoid spoilers, so you just know that what you record in the surroundings. That is fair. Oh, are we? That's weird. We're getting a really good stream. I guess the slight delays for people. Currently tied. Oh, why is it not popped up for me? It has legitimately not. It's not shown up for me on the screen on the stream. Ah, why is that the case? Hang on. It's gonna go quiet for a second. I'm just gonna fill the void with talking. Oh, and now we're hearing me twice. Oh, there's a actual fight going on. Yeah, I'm not sure why it didn't come through in Oh, you're actually having a fight with one another. Okay, that is pretty fair. That's kind of funny. I'm not sure why that didn't, I'm not sure why that didn't... Oh, I can start playing the music again. Not sure why that's not popped up in my stream chat widget, but that's fine. That's a thing that happens. You want your points back? You're not getting them. Okay, Fathomless Trench. Why did I... It's a big hole. Why am I surprised that Kale voted so heavily to send us to a big hole? Go listen to Sinkhole. I shouldn't even be surprised. I'll be honest, I'm genuinely not sure if it's the imp you are following or just the hole. Both funny, but just both very in character. You love a good trench. Well, it's just a hole under the sea, isn't it? The sea is peaceful for the most part, save for occasional strange shimmers beneath the surface. You realize the lone minstrel is looking down at them along with you. The shapes down there. Some must be worms of the sea dominion, cast into exile. I understand they've tirelessly fought the Commonwealth's wars, having grown weary of their own. They must make worthy adversaries. Tizo appears to have spotted something tasty. Tizo dives without warning into the depths below. And there he goes again. That one enjoys being at sea, despite its perils. Eventually, the little imp resurfaces, clutching something in its claws. Oh, a lesser shambler. Which is a trade. Oh, nice. Limbless, cold-blooded creature caught at sea. Nice. Thank you, Tizo. That's just money. We appreciate you. Oh, that's really nice blending of the music to make it sound like that was that was always going to end right there. At last you arrived, the hulk of Ores. After journeying across the sea, it seems the next rite is to commence soon, though there is no sign of your next adversaries yet. Are they worms? Ooh, down the river. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got from you. Oh, hey, you guys. Funny running into you out here. Right in the middle of the drink. Know what I mean? Not a lot of customers today, so have a look. I'll give you a good deal. How did you get here? You walk on your father's shoulders. Okay, what do we got? We got a thorned... Oh, we can sell this for a start. Yes, proceed. And we have... Okay, so these things are... Don't worry about it. These things are sticking around. So, Lunar Glass... Oh, Kusabi, hello. Hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoy your lurk. Thank you very much for swinging by and lurking. It's very appreciated. While carrying the orb, the bearer moves faster than usual. Ooh, that's fun, but I can't afford it. Faithstone grants the bearer 2 hope. Grants the bearer 2 presence. Presence is pretty good. We'll get the Stardust. We'll get both of these. Then what do you do? Aura casting raises the bearer's maximum range plus 8%. Not really too fussed about that. Might grab it anyway. You know what? A scribe rock? Because presence is the size of your aura, so that makes sense to have. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, proceed. And then I don't know, might as well keep the thought, get this and actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait for the time being. We are going to. You guys have a good day out there. And let's have a look inside. Oh, hello. You want to have a chat with me? So we have a page first. The Emperor Solian Mur knew naught of this, of course. His expedition yielded not the treasure he desired, but brought him closer to his country than he had ever been before. As he travelled down the river Skloran? In pursuit of greed, he found instead an inkling of shame. He saw the sunken faces of his people, heard their words for him. In time, he could not ignore it, and it proved more than he could bear. The river finally claimed him, his belongings, and his retinue. Once the people heard, I understand they cried with joy. Perhaps he ought to have perished, but the mercy shown to him, I think, is what transformed him. Okay, so Emperor set out in greed and then basically fell overboard, I guess. So Tizo's hopping around. Edwin is, oh yeah, tossing and turning. You're having a bad time, aren't you, buddy? Ooh. Keep yourself shake from Worm Gulf, the Silver Cudgel Head. Faye's saluting the scribes. Nice. Who else is on team? Tizo. Oh, and Ruki is sniffing the book. Okay, then. Judariel, what do you got for me? Reader, a moment of your time. You asked what is on her mind. Edwin. He is beginning to recover from his illness. However, its sudden onset serves as a reminder, I believe. I have known Edwin since he was a child. Even now, I hesitate to say he has grown. Nevertheless, there are such things that even I would never say to him directly. For instance, I struggle with his confidence at times, which leads us to our freedom or our doom. Whether he leads us to our freedom or our doom, I am ambivalent. Speak not a word of this, of course. In case that is unclear, I shall tell him in my own way, if and when the time requires. In any case, when times remind me of his mortal weaknesses, I end up having to consider what should happen should we become separated permanently. She trails off a while. What I mean to say is, you should know that I am fully pledged now to this quest of ours. whether Hedwyn is the one to lead us to its end or not. I have my reasons. One of them is him. I expect the same holds true for you. That is all I wish to say. Take care, reader. She nods and brushes past you toward the door. Okay, cool. So you're nearby. Okay, cool. What the? Okay, fine. We're not gonna examine that too hard. Having landed at the Hulk of Ores, you and your fellow exiles now anticipate the hour that the rites are to commence again. What do you think, Tizo? Do I look just like Master Hedwyn? Tizo is worried that Hedwyn is still feeling unwell. Wait, I think... What's that? Oh my god, you're adorable. A serpentine creature emerges from the water, followed by several others of its kind. You recognize it as a worm of the Sea Dominion. What they all are doing here, you see plain by their ritual raiments. The nearest one somehow loosens its mask. Okay. Well, good sirs and good ladies. So, it is you that heeds the summoned glorious competition against this knight and his brigade. Well then, let us do battle now without delay. More than our freedom is at stake here, but our very honor. And this knight fully intends to reclaim his. Sir, your depth perception. Oh, and lest this knight forget. He is called Sir Gilman. He salutes you on behalf of the Pyre Hearts. Till the contest. He is a once proud knight of the Sea Dominion, on a self-made quest to regain his honor. A triumvirate of worm knights, who perceive the rites as great battles to be won. He splashes out of view just as the stars above begin to shimmer with strange light. Also, yes, you're getting free redeems of the Punchably Plosh with that guy. Okay. Calling yourself the Pyre Knights is like calling yourself the Football Knights. That is very true.
Even the vastness of the sea was not enough to thwart your coming here unto the Hulk of Ores.
Ores, so right.
It would be wise not to underestimate your adversaries here, despite their pitiable look.
You're such a dick.
Referring to the Pyre Hearts.
Oh, it's Pyre Hearts, not Pyre Knights.
And that makes you their mortal enemy.
But you're right, it is basically like calling yourselves Footballers United. Ooh, it's a different shape. Like a boat. Your fellow exiles are gathered on the rotting deck of the Hulk of Ores as your adversaries clamber into view. Rookie paws up to them. Say, what are you worms even doing here? Can't you just swim back to the Commonwealth, or the Sea Dominion, or wherever it is you're from? Ha ha! An excellent point! It seems that these adversaries in the rites are clever, wouldn't you say, sire? Just get rid of them already, Gilman. As your commanding officer, this knight hereby commands it. Hark! This knight wishes to introduce the noble commander. No worm knight in history has withstood as many frontline battles. Doff your helm, sir, as is our custom. May our adversaries tremble at the sight of your... Sir Gilman attends to his commander's mask, despite his protests. What? What is going on with your helmet? What? How is your outfit just like way too small for you? But wait, give this knight his mask back. This knight hereby presents to you the great Deluge. A noble visage, is it not? a petty worm knight of the Sea Dominion, who somehow survived countless battles. Sedelius trembles and squirms. So, yes, you can swim, or no? Ha ha! Of course we knights can swim. All knights of the Sea Dominion can. But we are exiles in this land, the same as ye. We can swim, 'tis true, but 'tis summarily impossible to swim back up the river down which we were flushed to end up here. Nay, there is but one way to return. Silence, Gilman. Nobody cares. Back to your post. Sir Gilman hesitates, but does as he is told. This knight knows who you are, Nightwings, and he is not afraid of you. He somehow climbs back into his mask and coils up to his full height. Now, on guard! The exiles of the Worm Triumvirate take their positions as you focus on the Book of Rites. Well, this was a thing. Also, like, Edwin. Edwin's illness means he cannot help us here. He should be counting on us. I mean, that's fine. I wasn't going to use him anyway.
Who shall conduct this rite?
Judariel. Probably... Ooh, everyone's quickness is looking pretty good. Ooh, Tizo actually has a bonus this time. Faye apparently has been used less than... Oh yeah, Hedwin again does... Okay. They're super small and fast. Okay, well we're gonna go with something also small and fast. Which is Chizo. Oh crap, I didn't forget. I forgot to change any... Yeah, oh, you know what? This'll work. Gilman, status report. What is the enemy's position? They're over there, sir. They now stand ready to confront us, sire. A very brave triumvirate they seem to this night's eye. Brave. They're sucking monsters, one and all. My hearts, be ready. Oh, wow, they are nippy fuckers. Okay, that is good to know. Well, that's a pretty quick... That was pretty effective.
The Nightwings now are closer to achieving victory.
Oh, damn it.
Flames grow weak.
Okay, we definitely need to,
Triumvirates are equally as close.
Stop it! Stop it! Oh, goddamn.
Plunges into the fire.
Okay, Sir Gilman is a problem. Gilman, your form is sloppy. Fight them as though your miserable life is on the line. Your words do wound me, sire. This knight gives every right his very, very best. I may need to redo this right. Perhaps we do have much to learn from such a brave triumvirate as the one whom we now face. Whose side are you on? Get out of there and finish him once, vanquish them once for all. Our adversaries stand divided. Let's take advantage of the opening.
There seems to be dissension in your adversary's ranks.
Are you over there just having a chat?
Fool worm knight by the scribes.
Okay.
Do you believe you can prevail in this?
There we go. Okay. Okay. We brought it back. We brought it back.
No more than a lick of flame remains. Glorious.
Oh!
Force of will behind that thrust.
Okay, so we managed to...
Now then.
There we go. Thank you, Faye.
You know who prevail. Perhaps they do deserve their freedom after all.
Okay, that was tricky. Like there was, I was, I expected more from the Worm Knights of the Sea Dominion. They gave me, they took a really early lead. I'll be honest. The sea was making me a little queasy, honestly, but we still won. We won. Tizo was very pleased to have prevailed against the Worm Knights of the Pyre Hearts. This night commends your noble night wings, gloriously fought indeed, and this knight shall wistfully remember this defeat until the end of his death. Silence, Gilman. This is your fault. Now cavorting with our enemies. How dare you? This knight was but attempting honorary compliments, sire. Is it not in accordance with the rights to praise one's adversaries on a worthy outcome? Worthy? This knight will show you worthy, you miserable little minnow. You're a failure, Gilman. Now get from this knight's sight.
What stirs now in the hearts of all these exiles?
Nice. 650 to your next boost. Oh, everyone's going up pretty well. Oh, we like that. 750, nice. That means a lot of people are very close to leveling.
Until the stars align.
Tira. After triumphing over the Pyre Hearts in a solid performance, you at last return to the wagon with your companions. There is little discussion of the Pyre Hearts, who seem to have already swum off towards wherever the stars directed them. Instead, your fellow exile's attention turns towards your companion, who is absent for the rite. How's Hedwyn? The lone minstrel makes a sound, but no worms form. As yet, something is trouble. Oh god, is reliable friend okay? I urged him to remain bedridden. And he simply would not listen. I'm very sorry, but... Wait, what? Everyone stares at the lone minstrel in stunned silence. The lone minstrel breathes a heavy sigh. But then... Hey, what's with the long faces, everyone? Minstrel, I should wring that neck of yours. I was attempting to explain. Hedwyn is already up and about. Tizo is your spirit animal. Explain. I'm curious why you associate so strongly with Tizo. Minstrel just loves to sow chaos, despite my having strongly recommended further rest. Those that are unaccustomed to sea voyage and take ill, they're very likely to experience further symptoms if they do not remain bedridden, or at least sedentary. Him's a bat. Fair. Edwin is running a considerable risk of having to spend another night in great discomfort. What are you, a doctor? Nay, although I travelled once with one extensively. Look, I appreciate your caution and concern, Tariq, but I'm pretty well accustomed to discomfort here, and I had to see how things turned out tonight. And they were roommates. I haven't had to stay out of a rite like that before. You've not been in a rite since, like, the first two. So, you're back among the living then, Hedwyn. Was just seasick. Nevertheless, your full recovery requires rest. I think we'll also use some rest after tonight. Anyway, thank you everyone for your concern. And I'm sorry that I worried you, or caused you further burden. He turns to you. My friend, what do you say we figure out where to go next? I'm beginning to miss being on solid ground. You follow him outside where the night sky awaits. Hey, I wanted to thank you for conducting the rite back there without me being there. Like, I barely remember you're on the team half the time. I could rest easy knowing you and the others would get through it. Anyway, I'll leave you to your reading. I can't begin to imagine where we'll be off to next. We're well past anywhere in the downside I've ever been. Even Jody hasn't gotten this far. He bids you a good evening as you turn your attention back to the sky. Seek again your destination. Okay, where are we going? Oh, that seems pretty bright. Is this going further? Wow, okay, so we're even further north. Alright, I think this is, like, nearly as far north as we're going. Okay, we'll do this. Ooh! I swear these are looking increasingly like new Paldean Pokemon designs. Still further north, then. Not simply north. This shall prove difficult. What's the problem? Our destination is beyond the deathless tempest. Ooh. A vessel such as ours has little hope of traversing it intact. Can't we go around it? Given our confrontation with the Pyre Hearts, our chances back in worm-held waters will be even worse. Come on, people. It'll be just another day in the downside. Go get yourself some sleep while we still can. You'll feel better in the morning. Your optimism is infectious. Isn't it? You all concur that rest is in order for the sea journey has been taxing to everyone. Come daybreak, you also have to find a way to sail past the deathless tempest. Okay, who's in here? Oh, Tizzle. Tizo's been in a rather cheerful mood since being out at sea, and seems pleased to see you. Tizo's grateful for having had the opportunity to catch a fish, for old time's sake. Tizo was asking if you want to know why he loves fishing so much. You sense his inquiry is rhetorical in nature, so you anticipate his response. Tizo loves catching fish because he hates them and everything they stand for. Amazing. Also, this face is... I love this. This is great. This is so good. Tizo says all fish are bastards. He's devoted his life to the eradication of their kind. Ever since they killed his family? Oh shit! Are we actually gonna... Is this your dark backstory? He seems on the verge of tears, though as far as you're aware, imps cannot cry. Then he leers at you, eyes wide, expecting your response. It seems he told you a joke. Tizo, I do not know how to read you, man. No, that was the greatest joke I have been told since arriving in the downside. Sorry, chat. We are encouraging Tizo. You must do your best belly laugh following Tizo's joke. He says that you sidelong for... Oh no. Tizo admits the real reason he loves catching fish is because Falcon Ron plays the lot of soul for them. Ah, okay, that's legit. He snickers back at you and bounces off. One hope. Nice, tiny capitalist. Ironic for a small red creature. You're gonna get so much XP next time you get in. Right. So you. Oh yeah, you have this contract. We should probably replace this with something that's actually useful. Presence is the size of your aura. Yours is already pretty big, right? So having yours be bigger. Ooh. Or maybe on Faye? I think I need to practice with Tizo a bit, because I'm having trouble with his aura explosion. But yeah, you potentially return immediately. That's not bad. Oh, that's plus 30. Okay, actually, straight on this, like, your hope is not great. Actually, your hope is improving, I think. Your respawn time is going up. Is that also 42%? Oh, we're liking this. You have the quickness brooch, and you have +2 damage or +2 presence. And you get, after you cast Aura, it lingers longer. So Rookie actually adds quite a nice blocking mechanic. Okay, cool. Well, we've got some extra stuff anyway. That's not a bad thing. Let us continue our journey. Oh, Kale, prepare the pole. We have Ragged Rock. The north current towards Stormwall passes by old carcasses of ships long gone. Rookie spotted wreckage in the area and believes there could be valuables to find. Or Frostsea. The south current towards Stormwall breams with large sea creatures. Tizo seems very eager to see the wagon head in this direction. Yeah, chat, go ahead. Go and make your decision. I'm assuming it has already popped up. I don't know. Ah, yes. Thank you, Kale. Is it showing up? No. Why is it? Hang on. Let me refresh my chat. Can you? Yes. Okay. For some reason, I needed to refresh my Steam chat, which is a weird one. Never had to do that before. But yes, we look forward to seeing. Do we follow? Actually, do we follow the cute animal companion or the cute animal companion? I mean, let's be honest. It's cute animal companion and cutest animal companion. Like, I am genuinely sorry, Rookie, but you. Ness, thank you very much for cheering the 100 bits. I appreciate it. It's very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Oh, are you just having a fight? And thank you very much for the resubscription. I hope that you... Oh, and also congratulations on your new number first, like, founder badge. It is a bit of a shame that, like, so many people have the founder badge and very few people get the actual sigil, which is kind of funny to me. But yeah, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. It's a coincidence. But yes, thank you. Ness, you are indeed number 1. Or number 11, depending on how you read the badges next to your name. Doubt. I'm just enjoying you two having a fight in my chat. It's hilarious. It's very, very funny. Doubt. Oh, God. See, I'm not even looking at how this chat goes because I do not have I don't want to turn off the music because it's quite a nice jam. So I'm just Frosty. And thank you very much. Wow, Ness, thank you very much for contributing the bits, and Kale, congratulations for contributing the 200 channel points. Do appreciate it. Let's go to Frosty. Tizo, we listen to you. One thing you know about me is Kale and. Oh, I know. Like, I've also had this... Yeah, Kale and I do a lot of the good-natured bullying. Mutual bullying, I must say. The Imp Tizo has been much more animated, even than usual. What is it, little one? Tizo seems to think something very delicious is in these waters. He keeps on screeching. I don't think I've ever seen him like this. Wait, what is he... You get into genuine stupid arguments only to realize you're fanting about nothing. Oh, right, I see. Tizo dives into the waters. Oh, I hope you can swim. He can, but he appears crestfallen when he finally returns, his claws empty. Oh. Tizo is very disappointed that whatever he attempted to catch eluded him. He begins to sob uncontrollably. The two revel in each other's misery for a time. Aww. Oh, genuinely feel bad for the two. Faye and Tizo lost one hope. Oh, you bastards. Cruelty. You and your companions look upon the deathless tempest. The stars demand you sail beyond it, yet the very thought is beyond reason. Like 20 minutes sometimes you're like, wait, what was your position? We agree that this is what we agree on this. What are we arguing about? Oh, I've had those. I've had those. They're kind of hilarious, but also like you then have just a lot of frustration at the other person, and you do not know what to do with it. Then something in the water, nearby water, stirs, and from it springs something familiar. Ah. Good ladies and good sirs, this knight beseeches you to hear him, if you please. What is it now, worm? The rites are ended. We have no further need of you. You have different communication styles and get hung up on semantic minutiae. Yeah, I've had those, and it is one of those things where it's like, as I say, you just end up very frustrated, and then it's like, I have nowhere to put this energy. If only you spoke the Queen's English. Oh, but you do, and in turn, this has further need of you, good lady. Out with it then. Let us be joined! Let this knight join you! Please! Can you believe this, Hedwyn? I mean, the trouble is that I'm not going to change it much for when I'm voicing Gilman. Gilman is an absolutely delightfully voiced character who basically just uses punchably posh. Not really, no. Nay, look ye not so surprised. Your valour in the rights did star this poor knight's soul. He swears to you upon his long-lost honour as a would-be knight-errant of the sea dominion that he shall serve you to the end. Punch my mic. I punched my microphone. Gilman sounds too enthusiastic. Punchably posh has an inherent flavour of boredom in it, I feel. What about your other friends back there? Worm friends back there? The Pyre Hearts. They are base cowards. This knight can no longer abide such pineless characters, having witnessed true glory in our clash upon the hulk of Rez. Never before have we been trounced so thoroughly. We need a horrible Cockney accent to redeem. And furthermore, this night shall aid your passage through the deathless tempest. It is not so that you seek passage to the north. With this night's aid, you shall achieve your wish. There's a touch of the Brian Blessed going on here, which I do not necessarily know that the North Americans in the audience will... In fact, I am not entirely sure that anybody outside of the UK will understand references to Brian Blessed. He is a very loud actor who's very professionally loud. You know the name? Ah, well, I mean, you're not a proper Canadian. You're part British. Sir Gilman continues to persuade you for quite some time. It seems he knows a way to cross the storm, some sort of long-held secret among the worms exiled to these waters. Jadariel pulls you aside after Hedwyn gives you a look. Are you most sure that Sandalwood would want this thing along? Mostly sure. Sandalwood wants someone for each mask, and this one seems about as good as we're going to get. Gidario glowers back at the worm, who tries his best to look presentable. Hedwyn is more gracious. He tells Sir Gilman that if he promises to help, you cross the deathless tempest, then he can come along for now. This knight is overjoyed, and he hereby swears to see you pass the storm. I am somewhat delighted by the presence of the Heart Eye. That is just lovely. So fast, this knight requires your consent. Give unto this knight your blessing in the name of the Nightwings, and thus he shall go forth. Sir Gilman seems to be asking for your permission for something. Tentatively agree to whatever he is asking, so he can get on with it already. It is not clear to you as to what exactly Sir Gilman intends to do for you right now. Kale, a pole, peasant. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you put a poll on, please. I'm very sorry. I got into the I got two into the thing. I got two into the bit. Can you do a poll, please? I appreciate you. Thank you. Don't call Kale peasant. No, I know. I realized immediately afterwards, like, no, this has gone too far. Poll is up. Appreciate it. I enjoyed the outcome of Ness and Kale's fight in the poll. I have no idea if Kale is also doing, like, jokey answers. Correct response. Yes, correct response. And ha. Okay, you've both gone. You don't appear to be fighting. We agree this time. Okay, yes. I mean, he's just asking to join. Of course, of course. I do like it when Supergiant does this kind of thing where they just like set up two questions and it's like, no, before you answer, we're just going to completely cut you off. As you say something in response, Sir Gilman cries out in triumph. He vanishes into the depth. Yet through this close encounter with him, you cling to some sense of where he is going and what he intends to do. Sir Gilman is determined to help you cross the deathless tempest. Help see his mission through. I mean, he is the most quixotic worm. He's great. I love him. Like, he's not quite Tizo levels, but I'm definitely a fan. It is like as has been mentioned. I think the secret to this game is that every character is best character, or their headwind. Oh, okay. This looks like we have a thing to do. Determined to prove himself to you in the Nightwing, Sir Gilman emerges somewhere in the outer reaches of the Sea of Solace and calls out to you. Master Reader, if you can hear this knight, then he implores you now. Lend him your guidance. This knight's objective ought not be far east of here. You don't understand how his body works. Today we shall bring peace to the embroiled sea. Know, however, that amongst this nice brethren, the actions we are about to take are highly forbidden. But they are highly just. Thus, Sir Gilman sets forth to quell the storm that rages to the north. Okay, we traverse the reef. Okay. Oh, hello. This is... You basically... Okay, so you have like a... Oh, you are a speedy boy. Oh, wow. Even like without sprinting, you are a speedy boy. Don Quixote Worm says do crime. Okay. Oh, do I need to... Oh, jumping is the thing. Hark! Yonder lie the foul spawn of unfathomed plurns. Plurns? Oh, plurnes. Be gay in the old-fashioned sense, and do crime. The sea titan, once slain by the scribe under King Orez, her brood lies dormant in the sea. Tales of a monstrosity long spread across the world. Okay, boiling the seas with their wrath. Exiled worms within these waters long have harbored these abominations, using them to bar passage through the downside channels for any save this night's and its own kind. Begone now from here, fiends. This night shall finish what the under King Orez once started. I'm guessing slash. Slash. Oh, hang on. Oh, wait, do I... So, hang on. Do I just go... If I go around here... I'm not quite sure how the slash directs itself. It looks like a jump back. Yes, it is a jump back. Weird. So I can see the benefit. Uh-oh. Hold it right there, you traitorous slug. How dare you turn your back on this knight to your superior? Yeah, no, I've gathered this by trail. It's just odd to me that it's kind of such a... It kind of steps you back. Superior by rank no longer. For we no longer serve the Commonwealth, last this night checked. Here you hold no sway over this night. Ah! And what have you done to the spawn? Have you no honor left at all? This fucking guy can't see because he refuses to open his eye. His eye's there. It's just also his eye appears to be falling out. Question mark? Deep concern? This knight has done that which required doing. His honor cannot sink much lower anyhow. He figured this would be an ideal time to free himself from servitude to you. Why, you dare start the tempest for those nightwings? Good Sir Deluge. This knight was born to dare. Now come and fight this knight, if you so dare as well. By hearts, banish him. That is an order. Banish Pyre 0 of 8. Bye-bye. Oh, your trailer's also a trap. Oh, and there... You see, Gilman, you shall ever be inferior, even among the weakest of our kind. Gilman? Where did you go? Gilman? Gilman? But Sir Gilman's banishment serves the perfect ruse for him to elude his adversaries and return to his found allies. This knight would say it was an honor serving you, Sir Deluge. That would be a bald-faced lie, and yet another stain upon his blackened reputation. Okay, so they leave a fairly long trail behind them. That is good to know. And if you hit the trail, it... Until we meet again! What about you, lowly traitor? This knight will have your head, Gilman. Oh, okay. Or the aura slash fires instantly. 1 second. Sorry, I just had to sneeze. As the day wears on, there's still no sign of the Worm Knight. Your companions grow restless, but then... I'll... Oh god, this is going to destroy my throat. 1 second, I'm going to take a drink. Like, I'm glad you're with us, Sir Gilman, but oh my god, the voice I've chosen for you is a mistake. Hail! This knight returns with newfound tales to tell and new scars to show for them. Sir Gilman's sopping wet and visibly shaken. He struggles to maintain decorum. He is, in short, the very image of a worm knight. Wow. And, more importantly, that little tempest ought no longer pose a threat for now. Behold! As if on cue, the deathless tempest begins to simmer and subside. Da-da-da-da. Would you look at that? He really did it. Of course this knight did it! Now, if it would be all right with you, this knight could really use some shut-eye. The knight collapses in exhaustion. You and Hedwyn help him up. Deal's a deal, Sir Gilman. Welcome to the Nightwings. Huzzah! Unconscious. Sir Gilman joined the group. He also revealed a path north for you. Help him up. Just lit by the head. I don't know. One of us on his head, one of us on like the mid to lower section of his tail. That was involved. With Sir Gilman's aid, you managed to beat the Tempest. Do not talk anymore. You were true to your word, Worm. I shall give you that. And now what? We're stranded in this cursed storm. A most excellent question, and from one most fair. Call me that once more, and I shall tie you in a knot. Ah, and from one most spirited as well. This knight was wise to stand with thee. Not sure why you started singing. Just where do we turn from here? Answer the question. Now. Sir, I think you're punching above your weight class. Sir Gilman does no such thing. Although, eventually, he does make a note of a specific covenant that should lead you to the lands beyond. Gilman says, please step up. I mean, so has everybody in chat who has thus far met Jadariel. If I may, I can corroborate Sir Gilman's account. We are close to making landfall. Also, hello, Plantix, welcome in. Then let me be the first to say, let's go. Onward. Say, Tariq? Aye, Rookie? What is it? That loot you're always carrying around. You know how to play that thing, don't you? Why, I suppose I do. Good, because I was thinking it's a little gloomy here. We could use a little tune to lighten up the mood. Know what I mean? Aye. Then, let me see what I can do. Ooh. We have hands. Sorry, just enjoying this. Also, you can really hear this is the same guy who played Orpheus's singing voice, which it should not be surprising at all. But yeah, you can there's a few songs sung by Orpheus in Hades, and it sounds very much like this. Because I guess it's not a Supergiant game unless you have like their own custom song whilst you are sailing down a river. Actually, that is a surprise. That is a weirdly consistent thing with them because they had it in Bastion. It's actually the composer singing. Yeah, I think did the composer not play Orpheus as well? I'm pretty sure they played Orpheus. I'm open to being... Yeah, I thought so. But yeah, I swear, like, there was a singing river scene in Bastion. There was a singing river scene in Transistor. Now here, and then Hades. So, yeah, I guess it really is a thing. At last, your wagon rumbles onto solid, jagged ground. The land called Black Basin. Black glass, searing vapor, and strangling forests mark the forsaken lands that loom across the sea. The 8 scribes first discovered the northern landmass of the downside. Your fellow exiles unpacked the wagon so you can take stock of how best to reach your destination. Let's have a look inside. Right, okay. Oh, Sir Gilman's Crest. Okay, nice. So, official certification of knighthood in the Commonwealth, often sought by worm knights. So, you're staring at the book. Tizo is eating leftovers. Ruki is chewing, possibly also on the leftovers. Jadariel is securing the wagon, and Headwind's tidying up. Nice. That's lovely. Super Giant Games made a remaster of all their songs, a masterpiece. Nice. Yeah, the bell's cool. Like, you just get this from, I think you just pick this up, keepsake from Big Bertrude's, or is it based on like where you like victories you have? I don't know. Like, is there? Oh, we should actually have a look. And what's your deal? Hello. Oh, you're actually pretty close to the next step of enlightenment. One of the Atlantis Worm Knights of the Sea Dominion, he appears to have withstood many battles in the name of the Commonwealth, which employs many of his kind for the ongoing war against the High-Wing Remnants. His exile seems to be self-imposed, though even he can only take so much abuse from his fellow knights. Ooh, you're a speedy boy, but you have very small presence. We don't know anybody else's deal yet, do we? Oh, sentencing, not applicable, not applicable, not applicable. Oh, teaser, he was a beard, born on the outside. Cool. That is fair. Yes, what do you want? You approach Sir Gilman, who must have just finished practicing his fencing. What? How? How? He regards you with his single eye. Like, one, you don't have hands. Two, you have no depth perception. Why are you fencing? Also, like, what institutional cruelty was it that had these guys be the frontline pawns of the of the Commonwealth's army? Like, that is some cruelty. Hail, Master Reader! This knight is determined to train harder, having joined the famous Nightwings. He shall ensure that this triumvirate continues to live up to its most feared reputation. I mean, I feel we're increasingly pushing the bounds of the word triumvirate. Like, what is the literal definition? Sorry, I just want to quickly Google something. What is the literal definition of triumvirate? Because I'm gonna take a wild guess. A political higher institution ruled or dominated by 3 individuals. Yeah, it is definitely it is group of 3. Like, I recognize there's only 3 on the team at any given time, but I feel like we are increasingly pushing the bounds. Like, this is Douglas Adams levels trilogy in 5 parts now. I mean, is it a feared triumvirate because we completely shuck the rules and just decided to have a bunch of people on the team that we could pick and choose from? This is such an honor, and this knight has a great deal of honor to regain. Having fled the Pyre Hearts, this knight fully expects now to conduct the rites in a most honorable fashion. I did that conduct in a very northern term. To the fullest letter of the law described within the books. Some triumvirates this knight has met, and perchance mentioned by name. They are inclined to bend the rules a bit, sometimes a lot, and to prevail by any means they can. But this is wrong. The exile who refuses to obey the rules as they were written by the under King Orez and his 7 friends deserves neither his honor nor his freedom. Thusly does this knight have confidence the Master Reader shall resist any temptations to conduct the rites in any underhanded fashion. I mean, I have no idea how to cheat, so yeah, that's fair. Now then, this knight must undergo a thorough cleansing, having trained until the point of foulness. Please excuse him, Master Reader. That is too much information. He slithers off, having some sort of chivalrous tune. Okay. You find the headwind has asked for several volunteers to scout the area and report back. Alright, everyone. Don't go too far, and let's meet back by dusk. Please, use caution. The exiles dwelling in these lands are, well, rather territorial. For your part, you remain with the Black Wagon to keep watch. You see occasional dark shapes soaring across the sky. Oh. You see occasional dark shapes soaring across the sky, but none of them draw near enough for you to see in any details. Now, what groups of exiles might choose to live where all the exiles from the Commonwealth can't easily find them? Eventually, your companions make their way back, and everyone arrives as planned, or earlier. Hi everyone, I'm back! I've come back! You were a delight. Bird wives? Bird girlfriends? They returns from the east with little to report. Save for Worth, the glowing molten rock there is very, very hot. I'm honestly glad she didn't just. I would assume she'd touch it. This night yet lives, although he has little else to report. The newest member of the group, Sir Gilman, returns from Northern Pass, visibly shaken. He appears to have discovered an intense fear of heights. Oh, Gilman is possibly the bravest of the bravest person. Like, he is deathly afraid of a lot of stuff, and yet is still very, very willing to go through stuff. Izo wonders whether any species of fish lives in the pools or rock nearby. The little imp seems disappointed to have left the water behind. He remains with you, near the wagon. There is a western pass that seems traversable. If we travel by the light of dawn, the shadows and the crags may well cover our advance against whomever may be watching. Begging your pardon, I do not wish to contradict your strategy, madam, but, though in my experience we shall not remain hidden for long during the climb towards the nest of Trieste. The exiled harp matriarch lived in solitude among these very cliffs. The exiles are the high-winged remnants. You may have no love for them inherently. They have no such qualms with me for now. I may be able to negotiate safe passage. Negotiate? With them? Then Hedwin steps in as the low minstrel bows and backs away. Hey, let's not decide on this just yet. We're not going anywhere right now. That much we can agree on. We'll decide how best to go ahead come morning. For now, let's take the rest of the afternoon and get our bearings. Judariel glares at the sky and everyone else disperses. Locations! So, we can either forage, we can study, or we can mentor somebody. Kale, would you mind setting up a poll? Please. So, forage, study, or mentor. Just to remind, foraging gets you a thing to sell. Studying grants a bonus to a permanent ongoing bonus to every one of the team in one of their stats, and mentor just raises somebody's level. Probably, as we've already selected to have Judariel be the person who graduates first, I would mentor Judariel. Oh, I meant to know. You're meant to make a poll unless I call you a peasant. No, again, it was very much a joke, and immediately it was like, no, not doing this again. You read that as en passant. Well, aren't you fancy? Knowing chess. And yes, that is a massive. I recognize that as somebody who defines their content by board games. I recognize that's fair. It felt like a, I don't know. I think it was just. I will probably do it. I may well do it again, but it was one of those things where it's like I don't know. It felt odd at the time. I think it's funny to do it as like a group thing, but I'm not sure about like singling out one person. But I thank you. I appreciate the feedback. But yeah, I know very little chess, surprisingly. Like considering I'm somebody who does a lot of board game content. Like chess is this massive, Like, you know, I know how the pieces move, but I don't know, like, any of the strategy, and I don't actually know what en passant means. I think it's something to do with pawns. That's about as much as I know. Anyway, I expected the goat of the board game goat to know the legendary en passant. Yeah, but I don't. Mentor. Cool, we're mentoring Judariel. You think I can call you a peasant in that voice, considering you constantly threaten to push me? That's true. That is fair. Wow, okay. Was not expecting the... Having gleaned knowledge from the Book of Rites, you can impart some of its teachings. As each exile's path towards enlightenment is personal, you'll have to mentor them one at a time. Judariel. Very well, but there's much to learn. Your knowledge of that book is vital to us all. You illustrated to Judariel some of the intricacies of the rites, focusing on how all three in a triumvirate can move and act as of one mind. You sense she grasps some of the concepts. Private lesson. Okay, so that gives her 1,000 XP. Utter nonsense. All of this, that we have come this far. Fortune alone cannot be the cause. So you have upgraded. I don't know what level you're at, because your massive head is in the way of this line. I don't even know whereabouts this line is. Anyway, you have 3,050 until you have you gain the next enlightenment rank. What do we got? We have, after saluting her adversaries, Judariel deals an addition 10 to the... Oh, that's potentially interesting. After banishing an adversary, Judariel instantly recovers all stamina, or Judariel can banish adversaries by flinging the orb into them. Ooh, that's all real good. What does this do? Judariel permanently contains forceful presence, raising the size of her aura, which is already pretty big. Judariel's Pyre automatically gains 35. Ooh. Or any adversaries banished by Judariel take 30% longer than usual to return. Probably should have looked at that. Okay, also this is right 4, so I'm pretty sure this is the last. I get 1, so I can potentially get into this level. I can't do this, which is kind of a shame. Judariel, I mean, I think we've got it. Yeah, yeet strategy. I think you're right. I appreciate your knowledge, reader. Perhaps I shall soon have an opportunity to put it to some use. Judariel has moved on from basketball and is now playing dodgeball. Anybody in here? Nope. Out for a stroll. Eden's Fill. Playing with the imps. Aw. Foraging for supplies. Composing ballads. You actually do a thing? Continue the journey. Okay, we can go to the Black Shore. The low road to the nest of Trieste passes through the razor-sharp sand. Judariel wishes to avoid the harp by staying on the low ground, or the high-wing cove. The high road to the nest of Trieste is patrolled by the Commonwealth's ancient enemies. The lone minstrel believes he can negotiate safe passage with the harps via this path. Poll, please. If you would. Because, yeah, that's... I don't know. Do we want to meet the birds? Do we want to meet the birds or avoid the birds? I don't know. It's fine. Like, that's fine. It's fine. God, actually, Kale, this is going to be a nightmare on Thursday. I'm going to have to do this myself. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's fine, actually. It gives me a chance to have a drink because it's fucking hot. Way too warm. Anyway. Do we meet the burbs, tuppence a bag, or do we hide? It's fine. Like, honestly, legitimately cannot blame you for this. You know, it sounds like you're kind of getting a bit of a... you're kind of in a bit of a bad situation no matter what. So, yeah, I'm sorry you can't join us, but I hope that you... Well, you'll get paid. You know, that at least is something, because that's not something I can offer you. I'm kind of get myself... Anyway, no, not going to do that. And we will miss you, and also with you. Highwind Cove kind of looks like it's winning, unless people want to start throwing money around, which I'm gonna guess is probably not happening. Like, I think we're probably going to Highwind Cove. I think probably best to just approach it directly. Peace be with you, and also with you. Greetings, young Loxley. Hello, Thurkwood. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Long time no see, but it's very nice to have you back in these pastures. I hope that you're doing. Also, thank you for mentioning me in the hope of winning 100 quid on Twitter earlier. If you win, I expect a 25% cut. That's all. That's all I ask. I think that's entirely reasonable. Yeah, actually, sorry. Yeah, welcome to Pyre. Pyre is a great game. It's a visual novel where we are. In fact, yeah, we are basically an anime sports team. Going through increasingly obscure reasons to conduct our rites. You've been having sketchy work pattern of late, so you haven't been to many streams, including your own. 15%, you got a deal. I will take 15 quid, sure. See birds, love birds. Do birds love us, though? That is the question. Also, just to observe, they have said, like, they want one for every mask. I'm gonna guess the birds, we need a bird. Show yourselves, you frightened little birds. Jadariel selling these tweet birds or local dialect birds? Would you believe both? Show yourselves, you frightened little birds. Jadariel's going in hard and on these peace talks. These peace negotiations. All day long, winged shadows cross the sun. You're being watched. Jadariel is very unhappy about it. The lone minstrel now attempts to calm her. Perhaps I can communicate with you. Please, believe me, madam, when I say your enmity towards the harps had best be held in check. I will murder you to peace. Also, thank you, Kale. Jadariel looks at him with fury in her eyes, yet he retains his calm demeanor. Soon she grants his request with a silent gesture. Then he calls towards the heavens. Good sisters, we are humble travelers such as you and beg your leave. We journeyed by the sea and seek safe passage through your lands. We shall not disturb your hunting or your nests. The request is met with nothing but silence. You search in vain for any indication of acknowledgement. Then, without notice, one of them appears. Oh no, she's hot. She swoops the minstrel up and out of sight? Wait, what? Damnation! Wait here, I shall go and find him. For a long, terrible moment, you are alone with your panic. He's getting he might be a shocking development, a hot person in Supergiant Games. The bird is the bird is, well, they're all referred to as sisters, so I assume all female, plus like clearly based on harpies. But I mean, also shocking development, a hot harpy, who refers to all of her species as sister. Anyway, also, but yeah, I believe the minstrel has been referred using he, her, he, her pronoun, he, him pronouns, he, her pronouns. That would make no sense. Well, they probably would. Sorry. Minstrel is he, him, fairly certain. Soon, however, the lone minstrel returns amid the sound of flapping wings. He dusts his cloak and calls out toward them. We thank you for your hospitality, good sisters. We shall be on our way. How are all harpies female? It's just how they're always presented in Greek myth. Yes, thank you, Kel. Harpies are always in much the same way that Sphinx is head, body of a lion, head of a man. The the harpies are always depicted as body of a female. Oh, sorry, no, body of a bird, legs and wings of a bird, body of a female. Same as like mermaids being, you know, maidens. Myth does not necessarily need to make sense. Also, same as satyrs. I don't actually believe there are any women satyrs depicted in myth that I'm aware of. Sphinx has no nose, that's certain. How does it smell? Terrible. Sorry. Having seen this, Jodariel returns, sullen. The exiles of the High Wing remnants are letting you pass for now. It seems they are having some dispute within their ranks and wish no further trouble for the time. Oh, I wonder if if that dispute within their ranks is going to be decided by a right and also involve one of them joining my team. It's a warning, one that leaves Jodariel fuming. Jodariel lost 4 hope? What the That is definitely like a new Pokemon. That is like a fire that is like the new Mega Evolution of Rapidash or something. At last you're episode 4 lost. No, actually, I was thinking like, is that a reference? No, it's not. At last you arrive at the nest of Trieste. Nest of Trieste. That is too close to a rhyme. I disapprove. Where your right is next right is soon to commence. You cannot shake the feeling that unseen eyes are watching your wagon's ascent. They're right there. They're not unseen. Ooh, the hunt for Mur. Nobody wants to talk. My emperor lay there, bleeding and alone, stranded in a bitter land beyond the river. With fleeting consciousness, he understood the folly of his quest and the folly of his rule over his country. No gods, no kings. Thus did he await the last embrace. It was the imp Haub that nursed him back to health and warned him often of the dangers he would have to face. Many enemies of Mur would come in search for him, some under the employment by the rope caller, some longing openly for cold, uncomplicated vengeance. Mur, one of the gifts brought to baby Jesus in the cradle. I was one of them. I plunged into the river willingly. We needed to be sure that he was dead. Okay. Warming up, having an early dinner, wandering about, getting psyched up. Oh, donning his raiments and watching for your adversaries. Nice. Right, what do you got for a slug boy? Oh, hey, you guys. What brings you way out here? No, wait. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. All I want to know is you get the best deals. All I want is you to get the best deals on the downside. Righteous Flame. After dousing adversary's flame, the bearer's pyre is stored up to 5. Oh, that's good. Any adversaries banished by the bearer take longer to return. Ooh. Why is it becoming gradually more Canadian? Because we're going further and further north. You know what? We're just going to take the Stardust. Yep. Proceed. Take this. Proceed. That's pretty good. I actually can't afford anything. Okay, fine. Bye. See you guys again sometime soon, maybe. Okay? Because I gotta say, you are my favorite customers I had all week. Also because he's adding question marks to the end of his sentences. And that is apparently a very... It's both Canadian and Australian, where the sentences go up at the end. So it sounds like every sentence is kind of asking a question. Right, commence the rites. Also, you and your fellow exiles gather on the blasted lands called the Nest of Trieste, expecting the imminent commencement of the rites. Yeah, no, I sold that at the last one. That's why I was able to buy a bunch of stuff during the last slug market. Tizo tried to find another fish, but wasn't able to, and thus lost a bunch of... I think lost hope. And so did Faye. You see no sign of any adversaries, but then you hear a whooshing sound above. Oh god, she is hot. Wow, hello. Everything about your design is fucking glorious. That is... Yeah, that is lovely. I'm not sure how you put clothes on. You don't appear to have actual hands, but... Like, wow. I love the kind of... It's very anime in terms of, like, the hair covering the eye and the... And the kind of eye tattoo design, but it's so good. That's beautiful. How does Gilman fence? Don't worry about it. That's fair. That is the subplot. Like, just are they attractive to you? Don't worry about it. God, there is definitely somebody who's got the hots for Gilman. This then is what passes for the Nightwings now. Such a rabble. Not even dressed for the occasion yet. It seems the scribes had a little pride in their tradition. Rule of cool, baby. Hold your tongue, little bird. We have not come for talk. I'm just going to let the Doms discuss this peacefully. No, you have come on behalf of your Commonwealth. Mark my words, you horned filth. When at last we free ourselves, your home shall burn. With that, the harp swoots off as Judariel glares after her. It's only then that you realize another harp has come. Sorry, need a minute. Okay. She's quite serious, I assure you. I can help you sort her out. It's in a mutual interest spray bottle emoji. I will get it sorted. You know naught of my interest. Let's give this another shot, shall we? My name's Pamitha Thane. The winged harps of the high wing remnants. Loxley found his bird wife. Hey, do you know what? I was actually staring at these pictures and being like, I really want the artist from Supergiant Games to draw a VTuber design. Like in fact, yeah, Gen Z, that's her name. I really want Gen Z to design a VTuber character. I don't think that's going to happen, but oh my god, that would be beautiful. Surly one back there was my blood sister. No need to judge her harshly, though. Very appropriate for a satyr to simp for a harpy. I mean, yeah. We've only just met now, though I must say, something about you reminds me of her. Oh, you chose words. You chose words. I'm just gonna duck down here because I'm pretty sure Jadariel is about to murder you. I'll be over here. How dare you have implicated that I have something in common with your ilk. Just then, Hedwin shows up to intervene. He whispers something to Jadariel. No, Hedwin, you cannot be serious. Jody, I'm asking you to trust me on this one. Hedwin, okay, you know what? Right now, Hedwin is between me and Jody and the bird woman. Like, I'm just gonna stay down here and be very quiet. Am I perhaps interrupting something? Say, by the by, how ever did you make it all the way across the sea? Didn't see you fly in. Trust is something I am loath to give away, Hedwin, but you have set our course thus far, and I have followed. So do as you must. Hedwin, but have you considered giving bird women a try? Judariel, what the fuck? That sandalwood had better have an explanation for all this. Judariel storms off as Hedwyn turns to you. What's your take on this one, my friend? Our informant wants someone for each mask. I hadn't expected we'd run into a harp, yet here she is. What are you getting from her? I mean, I'm getting that you're a bird fucker, but like, I'm pretty sure I'm not in a position to judge right now. Like, I feel like Chad is very justifiably putting me on blast. But I mean, also it sure is convenient that we kind of need a harp for a mask. You turn your attention to Pamitha, who's been watching with bemused interest. Ah, a reader, are you? Pleasure to make you acquainted. Oh God, she calls me darling. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, darling. Well, here I am. Gaze oh God, she's hot and she knows it. I'm gonna have to revisit her voice. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, darling. Well, here I am. Gaze intently all you like, and tell your comrade there the truth of it, why don't you? Being frank, Pamitha seemed like a human fucker. A valid observation. You sense that she is conflicted about something, though you do not know that. Though you do not know what. You also sense, however, that her motives, here and now, are earnest. Edward wants to know your initial impression of Pamitha. She seems alright. She seems... Locks out here to make everyone... Slowly. This is... I have fallen into a hole real fucking fast, which, given my friendship with Kale, you would think I would have learned by now. It's not slow succumbing, it is a plummet. What did you tell me? Try not to fall into them. I did try, it didn't work out. Expression, what reservations? It may be that her training gives her some resistance scrutiny. Having only met her, you cannot sense whether... No, she seems fine. She seems more than alright. We're good. We're good. Hedwyn, she's great. She's great. Listen to whatever she tells us. We're good. I'm just gonna be down here worshipping at her feet. Just don't mind me. You tell Hedwyn that you think the group should take its chances with Pamitha and take her at her word. My thoughts as well. I think and hope the Judariel will come around. I mean, dom fight. Honestly, dom fight. All to claim he resisted at all. He then turns to Pamitha. I'm Hedwyn. Will accept your offer on 2 conditions if you'll hear me out. Condition? Why, sure. I love a good condition or 2. First, after we're finished here tonight, you come along and make sure that your blood sister and her friends don't give us any trouble when we're heading out. Second, you'll have to find a way to get along with Judariel, whom you met earlier. Hedwyn, your approach to getting on with harps is wildly different from everybody else on this team. I do not know that that you should be suggesting anything right now. Brilliant. I had no plans to stick around here anyway. As for your demon friend, no doubt we'll get on famously. Hedwyn being stoic calm. Well, I did. Yeah, Hedwyn's basic philosophy is, well, it worked out for me. Everyone should try it. Now, I don't suppose you have an extra set of raiments I can use, because I think the rite is getting started. You look up and see that she is right. Methathane joined you. She's the score to settle. Bid her welcome. Baby, can I borrow your clothes? I'm genuinely surprised they didn't. Like, they had the energy. Maybe they were just like, should we say, like, can I borrow your clothes? Or is that just too horny? Like,
you've swelled
It's already pretty fucking horny.
not merely with another, but with two.
Yep.
One from the Pyre hearts, no less. And one who seeks the favor of the adversaries whom you'll imminently face. They are the essence. Winged terrors, as you soon shall see.
I mean, they went with Aphrodite and every other god and also Meg.
For the vibrant country that was once your home.
From a distance, you observe as Pamitha, now clad in Nightwing's raiments, heads towards your adversaries in the rites. You? What sort of heathen harp would dare take wing against us? Your new companion then loosens the bindings on her mask. Hello there. Hello there, Tamitha. Pamitha's blood. What is this Tamitha nonsense, by the way? Sorry, can we just discuss naming conventions? Like, Bertrude was a thing, but they found out they could make characters hot, so they made a dating sim as the 5th game. Do all your names rhyme? I don't know. Maybe it's like a blood sibling thing? We have to choose the stupidest names, and they have to rhyme. Tamitha's blood. Sorry, I cannot take Tamitha and Tamitha seriously. My favorite is Bambamitha, like Mario and Wario. Absolutely. Mario's blood sister stared back at her a while before responding. What in the Saint's name are you doing here with them? Saint Triesta Tithys. 58 scribes, known as the Disciplined or the Blessed Born. The elders of the Harp Matriarchs anointed the Book of Rites and gave its words their powers. Doubtless come to dig your talon in my back again. No, sister. I've come to have a word with you. Save it. I cannot help but share your poisoned blood, but I shan't ever count you as my sister. You expect me to believe that you came all this way for talk. You waste your time as ever. My best guess, considering the minstrel referred to them all as sisters, I'm gonna guess blood sister means you are my literal sibling. But I cannot be sure. Maybe we get to ask. What's life if not a waste of time, dear sister? Give me a chance, why don't you? What do you even have to lose anymore? Besides, I've come a long way. It does feel like X energy, yes. Silence. You shan't have come here. And the time for talk is long since past. If only you could see yourself. Again, consorting with my enemies. Fine then. Savor their defeat. But I warn you, stay away from me. Tamitha says nothing more as her blood sister, Janitha, turns away. Such a stupid... Tamitha gets your attention. Listen to me, reader, darling. The rest of you are ill-equipped to navigate this place. Let me conduct this rite on your behalf, and my wings will bring you victory. Dear lady, your words ring true. This knight is flattered that you have not eaten him as his attendancy among your kind. I'll be honest, Sir Gilman, you strike me as the type who would be begging to be eaten by this woman, but I am not one to judge. This knight hereby volunteers his post in the triumvirate for thee. Sir Gilman refuses to participate in the rites this night so that Pamitha can face her sister. You were not prepared for the Pamitha to Gilman transition. It is two very different energies. And that's why you should hire me as a voice actor. I'm very, very good. Do the thing, Kale. You observe the treacherous terrain. Pamitha should be better suited to the rites here than the rest of you.
Who shall strive for freedom?
Thank you very much. Oh, okay. That only works in Twitch. It doesn't actually show up in my thing. Ah, okay. We'll have to play around with that. Equip the Scribe Rock. Wait, why? Specifically the Scribe Rock. Presence. You have no presence. Why would I do that? Okay. Chivalrous, reluctant, 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 reluctant. Wait, I have to do one-on-one? Oh, right. So I have to choose Pamatha. Right, can I... Okay, so this is extra bonus damage. Actually, I might put that on her. Also, let's quickly... 45%. Can I make this a solid 50? It can. That's what we like. Okay, cool. Right, okay. You doing extra damage. Thank you, Kale. Appreciate it. Yes, I created a new website. I created a website for Vic Collins as a yeah. So yeah, go check it out. It's all my projects and stuff. Amitha. Why, I thought you'd never ask that, darling. I accept. If the little bird is going to conduct the rites for us, then I shall not. Oh. Well, I guess you couldn't always. At some point, you had to back off. Fine, fine, fine. You're quick. I think I want somebody. So you won't. I might actually go for... Actually, you know what? Hedwin is due. Oh, okay. Cancel, cancel. Add a right thing. Extra presence. Quickness. That was specific to Ruki. That's 2 quickness. You have higher presence. Okay, fine. We'll do this. Choose. You can count on me, my friend. And we will put in Faye. Why don't we all have wings? I want to have wings too. Come then, sister. Perhaps when we are finished here, you'll spare a moment of your time. Never has a voice felt more intentionally like he's accompanied by a casual touch and getting into your personal space. I am flattered by the intimation. I shan't be tricked by you again, Pamatha. How poetic that we meet here in the downside. I can think of nowhere else I would rather see you rot for what you did to our people and to me. Right, I need to work out what you do real quick. Pamatha seems to sense your presence and catches your attention. Hello there, reader, darling. If I'm to be your mercy in all this, I'd like it very much if you could minimize how often I'm to wallow in a state of banishment. Quickly, let me show you what we Sisters of the Highwing Remnants can do.
Reader, you put yourself amidst a feud between 2 sisters? That seems entirely unwise. Even for you. Tread lightly around that exiled Pamatha.
Pamatha's dash knocks others away. Hold beat it. Oh, interesting. See, darling. We harps were not so bad. Now, I suppose we better get to work, hmm? This voice is making a headspin. Had to go last minute to last minute restream. Okay, I'm CNS. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate the subscription and the bits. Just don't go underestimating Tamatha over there. I trust you'll do the best you can. To the skies, sisters. Talon for me. Horses Talon for me. Like, what? Like, for birds, that's such a stupid thing. It's like Talon for me. It's like a fighter jet wing commander being like, go, all wings, hand formation. Like, okay. Finger formation, ladies. Same brain cell. Uh-oh. Oh, damn it.
Inauspicious.
Yeah. Shut up. Hedwyn, was it? Tell me something. You know how to fly? I wish I did right about now. Then listen up, my blood sister there. She'll swoop right past you if you're careless. We harps simply cannot get much altitude down here. So, if she goes for any unfair tricks, just jump for it and catch her in the act. She always hated when I used to do that to her. Jump to knock them out of the air in case of danger. That is cool. Jump! Oh, jump! There we go. Yes, it was. Bye. Lunged!
Both pyres now burn with the same strength. Tread lightly.
Oh, right, okay. You're going over me. Right, that is good to know.
This is the road to ruin.
Uh-oh. Ah, Christ on a bike. That is unfortunate. Okay, we're going to switch straight to you. Jump! Wait, what? No! Fuck. This is not actually working as well as I would have hoped. Okay, that... Right, you know what? We're just going to try and win the fucking game. Bye. Burbs are OP, nobody's nerf. Yep, we're just gonna... Cool. Right, this works much better. Just run around them and run. Yep. This is... Fuck all this jumping. Damn you, Tamatha. You are no true Thane. Big clan of the Highwing Remnant. Pamatha and Tamatha are so literal blood relatives. To think that you have the gall to call me sister still, after everything you wrought upon us. I hate to break it to you, Tamatha, but I don't think my actions, however much they hurt you, had any effect on our familial status. Look, I know I wronged you. That's why I'm here. You don't know my side of the story. Your side of the story. If I wanted to hear more lies and deception, I would have asked the Commonwealth to say my sentence for a while. Well, if you come all this way to face me, Pamatha, then come and do it. You and me. You think you see Pamatha shake her head. Everyone, stay back. No! Listen, Tammy, our parents did us a service in now naming, and it made us evil. Oh, God.
What is it those two think they're doing? The rights are not the place to settle petty scores.
Fly, leg it. Go. We're not fucking about, we're just going. Go in, get in.
A narrow victory,
Yeah.
nonetheless commendable.
Apparent, yeah, it seems like
End this night's proceedings.
you Commonwealth filth. Only that traitor's help only through that traitor's help could you have beaten us. You postpone the coming of our liberty, but we are ever patient, and our sisters on the other side shall have their day, with or without my aid. Tamatha, please. You found good company there, Tamatha. May you wither here with them. I hope sincerely we shan't ever meet again. Thank God I don't have to refer to Pamatha and Tamatha through this entire ordeal again. Pamatha stands motionless as her blood sister departs. Hey, she's gone. The rest of us are headed back. What about you? I don't see why not.
The 8 scribes bless us with their ways.
I think I'm beginning to understand something of all this, my friend. Oh, you might be about to get 2... This is your first mastery? Hedwin gains 50% more stamina, letting him jump and sprint more often. Ooh, fun. Hedwin and his allies regenerate stamina twice as quickly as... Wait, that was a thing? While bearing the orb, Hedwin and his allies move with and pass the orb. Oh. Oh, that's why I should have been using Hedwin. Hedwin's really good at support. Okay. Instantly return allies by moving where they... Oh my god. Hedwin's allies cause banished adversaries to remain banished for 2 seconds longer than you. Okay, right. More stamina for you. Hedwin's order travels in a wider, longer line. Shoulder smath. He is a reliable friend. Hedwin jumps into... Oh! After Hedwin does the his Pyre recovers up to... Right, yeah, we're going down this path. Because... Oh, you... The 8 scribes. They so inspire me, and now I feel I've grown somehow closer to them. Maybe? Right, what's your top thing? If Faye's banished while jumping, she'll instantly return at the origin of her jump. Ooh. Or... While grasping the orb, Faye sprints and jumps without... Oh my... Okay, this is... Faye's jumps and power jumps farther than usual. Faye slows nearby adversaries. Flings orb faster. Faye automatically leaps to orb the... Speed, daughter. You're getting a... Wait, really? You're not giving me a level up for that one? Fine.
Until the next right.
Ta-ra. After prevailing over the essence in a last-ditch effort, it really was. You and the others return to your wagon to consider your next move. And how best to integrate Pamatha into the group. We are not taking suggestions from Hedwin. Don't worry. I won't be staying any longer than it takes. I like my fresh air so I can sleep up on the roof. I trust the rites will cause Bypath and Amathers to cross again before long. You're welcome with us for now, Pamatha. Sit down, Hedwin. Trust is what got here, right, Isaiah? Isn't that right, Rookie? The Rookie does not seem to hear the question. He's been rather quiet since first encountering your new guest. Amethyst shoots him one of her smiles. He stammers something about having to check... I mean, hard same, buddy. Hard same. He runs off. During this discussion, the minstrel pulls you aside. Reader, I ask a moment of your time outside. Edwin, do you want some water? You seem a bit fucking thirsty. There is somewhere I may ask we go, here in Black Basin, reader. By your leave, of course, and provided the stars allow it. Would you look upon them for us, please? Yep, let's go. I'm going to guess it's this one just over here. Nope. Oh, it's this one. Trieste of the... No, that's... Ah, this one. Lou, the Vernal Star. Black Basement. That's where... That's why she's sleeping on the roof. She calls the Black Wagon the Black Basement, because that's where all her toys are. This went to a weird place. Is a tree. The glade of Lou, directly west. And it is just as my client indicated. The great sap scholar Lou Sklorian here vanquished the root titan, limbless Arizech. That's where all her toys are. I said that without prompting. And I'd say it again. This client of yours, our informant, Sandalwood. He entrusted us with this wagon, this quest. Why? What does he want from us? You may ask him yourself. He awaits us somewhere in the Waking Wood, due west. How do we find him? He shall find us. Seems you are soon to finally meet Sandalwood. At dawn, you shall have to cross a single narrow path leading west, where he supposedly awaits. Hamilton, she brought booze. Oh, you are definitely my favorite. Kept close at hand on the off chance of a good occasion or a very bad one. Nice. Oh yeah, I need to talk to you. Sorry. Doing the dishes, playing with the. Oh, that's so sweet. Listen, she should have a good time. Running the centrifuge. Out for a walk. Sitting quietly with Jadario. And sitting quietly with... Get it, Sir Gil? That is not a... That is not the... what I would have expected for those two. Get it, Sir Gil? You knew what you wanted. Is that a worm in her... That's a... Oh my god. This is an act of... This is a fucking war crime. I'm pretty sure that is a worm, as in Sir Gil's people in that jar of moonshine. She's been stuck with her literal blood relative, away from her family, surrounded by hot people, looking for a good time. Do we need to call HR about? Do we have HR? Is that what Sandalwood's going to be? You approach Pamatha, who's kept to herself since joining your small band, apparently drinking one of Gil's species from a jug. Maybe the worm in the flask likes it. Gil's away, better drink it before he sees. You sense she's unaware of you as she preens her flight feathers. But then she speaks up. I really want to know, like, is that with the nose? Come to check up on me, reader, darling. In those first moments when we met, that vote of confidence in me which you relayed to that nice Edwin boy, I'm grateful you were willing to see past these wings. No comment. No comment. One of your kind's ancient enemies just happens to insert herself into your group, and you just go with it. However, I assure you that my motives here are plain. You'll see. I have business with my blood sister Tamitha, nothing more. You briefly met, I think. She's quite a catch. As the little quibble between us, well, it's a long story all in all. One that's frankly no one's business but hers and mine. Surely we'll run into her again. Maybe not soon, but in time. And we have the rest of our long lives to wait. Anyway, happy to aid you in your quest until such time. Especially to the extent that it aids me in mine. Simple exchange. Until then, stay vigilant, darling. You needn't concern yourself with making small talk with someone like me. And besides, we harps have a saying, liars bound. He sweeps away before you can respond. Well, we're going to raid someone, and then I'm going to go and have a cold shower. Because, yeah, that was, So we met some friends. We made some friends today. Let's get off the screen. Spray bottle emoji, I know. I never thought I needed it more than right now. Yeah, let me have a quick look and see what is live, what's going on. Ooh, that's definitely a possibility. Who else is online right now? We're going to quickly... Nobody's like a particularly close friend. You know what? There is somebody who is doing a board game arena night called Games of Fire. I really want to do some more board games. You won't be able to sleep without hearing this voice now. You're welcome. Kusami's here as well. Oh god, I forgot. So yeah, we're gonna raid Games of Fire, who is running a board game night on Board Game Arena. We have a new raid message because I realized that part of the thing was just not working. So yeah, I thought I'd throw that in and just make it a bit of a change. Oh, hello, you copied a bunch of weird stuff there. Oh god, it all went wrong for you there, Kale. But yes, thank you so much to everyone for joining me. Thank you very much to Kale for our mod, for being such a wonderful mod. Thank you to Ness again for the cheer and the resubscription. I hope that you've all enjoyed this time on Pyre. I've had a lovely time streaming for you. Do once again go check out my new VA website, viccollins.com. That will be much appreciated. Thanks to me for making all this too much look horny. I mean, they're on my head. I can't really do much about them. What a stream. Yeah, this game's taking me to weird places. So in the meantime, I'm going to go have a cold shower. In the meantime, I've been Loxley, Stereo Strategy, Capring Card Shark, the Board Game Goat. I hope to see you all again. And yeah, 10 out of 10 would simp for Bird Women again. Good night, have a good one, and ta-ra.